Nigeria's most powerful people you can't vote for. Ever seen a picture of Oba of Benin or the Emir of Kano? You see these incredible ancient robes, a royal court that looks like it's straight out of a history book. And then you see them stepping out of a brand new Rolls Royce, surrounded by state governors and businessmen. It's a bit of a head scratcher, right? Here we are in the 2020s, and Nigeria is a republic. It has a president, a constitution, elections. So what's the deal with all the kings? Do they actually have any power, or is it just all for show? Well, the answer is complicated. It's fascinating as well, and it tells you everything you need to know about modern Nigeria. Today, we're untangling the story of Nigeria's traditional rulers, from absolute power to political pawns, and their strange, powerful afterlife in the 21st century. First, you have to rewind the clock, way back, before the lines of Nigeria were ever drawn on a map. We're talking about the great empires of the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries, the Oyo Empire in the southwest, the Benin Kingdom with its legendary bronze work, the Sokoto Caliphate, founded in the early 1800s. These weren't just kingdoms. They were the entire world for the people in them. And the Oba, Emir, or Obi at the top, wasn't just a leader. He was often a divine figure. His word was law. He controlled all the land. He was the chief justice, the commander-in-chief. This was absolute top to bottom power. Then the British arrived. The change started slowly, but a key date is 1861, when they annexed Lagos as a colony. From then on, their influence spread. By 1914, they had amalgamated the northern and the southern protectorate into one entity called Nigeria. To control this vast new territory, they used a clever system: indirect rule. The idea was simple. Why bother replacing the king when you can just control him? They'd leave the emir or the Oba on his throne. But now, he answered to a British colonial officer. His power was no longer divine. It was delegated. That was the first major crack in the foundation. Fast forward to October 1st, 1960. Independence. Nigeria is free, a new democracy. For a moment, during what we call the First Republic, 1960 to 1966, it looked like the traditional rulers might get a new lease of life. The government created House of Chiefs, giving them an official advisory role. But it quickly got messy. The monarchs were dragged into the dirty world of party politics. And then came January 15, 1966, the first military coup. Military governments are all about centralized control. They don't like competing power structures. And for the next few decades, military decrees chipped away at their authority. But the biggest, most decisive blow came in 1978. It was a piece of legislation that sounds boring, but was revolutionary: the Land Use Act. Think about it. The number one source of a monarch's power for centuries was control over the land. The Land Use Act wiped that away with a stroke of a pen. It declared that all land in Nigeria, was now vested in the state governor. Overnight, the monarchs went from landlords of entire kingdoms to tenants in their own palaces. This was the moment their back was truly broken. So, by the time Nigeria returned to democracy in 1999, the situation was clear. The new 1999 Constitution, the supreme law of the land, gives exactly zero formal roles or powers to traditional rulers. Not one. Legally, they are private citizens. Their palaces, their staff, their fancy cars, it's all funded by the state government, physically at the governor's discretion. So we're back to our original question. If they have no land, no army, no constitutional power, why do politicians to this day still line up to get their blessings? Why are they still so influential? This is where it gets interesting, because their power didn't disappear. It went into the shadows. It became informal. But in Nigeria, informal power is sometimes the most powerful kind. Their modern influence comes from three main sources. Number one, they are the custodians of culture. In a country wrestling with its identity, the monarchs are a powerful symbol of a history that predates the 1914 amalgamation. They are the living link to a pre-colonial past that carries immense weight. Second, They are the local dispute resolvers. The official court system can be slow and expensive. If you have a problem with your neighbor, are you going to hire a lawyer and wait 5 years? Or go to the Oba's palace, where the issue might be settled in an afternoon? For millions, the palace is still the real Supreme Court. And third, and this is the big one, in the post-1999 era, they are political godfathers. Politicians know that while the Oba can pass a law, he can influence thousands of votes. An endorsement can make or break a campaign. And this is a great paradox. This is the good and the bad side, all rolled into one. The good, they provide stability and preserve culture. The bad, it's fundamentally undemocratic. The hereditary position clashes with modern principles. Their deep entanglement with politicians can lead to corruption and undermine the very democracy Nigeria has been trying to build since 1999. So where does Nigeria stand on this today? It's in a weird middle ground. You have countries like Botswana, where the House of Chiefs is a powerful, constitutionally recognized body. They have real formal power. Then you have the United Kingdom, where the monarch is the head of state, but their power is almost entirely symbolic. Nigeria since 1999 is stuck between no formal power like Botswana, but way more real world behind the scene influence than the British monarchy. They are ghosts in the political machine. Officially, they don't exist, but they are pulling levers everywhere. This has led to a huge debate. Here we are, more than 2 decades into the Fourth Republic. This has led to a huge debate. Here we are, more than 2 decades into the Fourth Republic, and this influential institution remains completely unregulated. Many argue it's time to formally integrate them into the system. So, what could that look like? One idea is the National Council of Traditional Rulers, not to make laws, but to act as an official advisory body on issues like security and culture. They have intelligence on the ground the government in the capital often lacks. Another idea is to make them ambassadors for development. Imagine a respected Emir leading a vaccination campaign in 2025, or an Oba championing a project to get more girls into school. Their word carries weight where government posters do not. The goal is to harness their influence for the public good, to bring their power out of the shadows and give them a formal, accountable role that complements democracy. So, the reality of monarchy in Nigeria is a story of survival. They've gone from the absolute sovereigns of the 1700s to the colonial agents of the early 1900s, and from the political players of the 1960s to the constitutional ghosts of today. They've lost their formal power, but they've held on to their influence. They are a relic of the past that is profoundly shaping Nigeria's present and the future. They are not just a tourist attraction. They are a living, breathing, and powerful part of the Nigerian puzzle. A puzzle that even now, the country is still trying to figure out how to solve. So, if you like this video, there's a lot more of it on YouTube, okay? If you want to read articles or carousels on Instagram, please go ahead. And explore our interactive web as well, okay? And get PDFs on popcentraltv.com. I'm Olayinka Obibi, and I do this every day, okay? Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and X. And if something is not clear, I will research it, I will ask about it, I'll find out about it, I'll put it together and explain it back to you, okay? Stay sharp.
Just so you know, this is for information only and not advice. Some details or policies might have changed by the time you're watching this.